Hey, howdy, y'all. Mr. Tope TO here with a review of Apple TV's Foundation series, Season 1, Episode 5, entitled Upon Awakening. In this episode, we get a bit more... Hey, howdy, y'all. Mr. Tope TO here with a review of Apple TV's Foundation series, Season 1, Episode 5, entitled Upon Awakening. In this episode, we get a bit more of the playing with time as we see Gail awakening from her cryogenic sleep after decades floating around. We also see the Terminus crew basically in the main timeline being threatened by the Anacreons. They're just up against it. But to my abject horror, a week after I created the Empire Scene of the Week bit, there are 0 Empire scenes this week. With that being said, if I can't get my Empire, I got to go with the Federation, and of course in celebration of William Shatner going out to space this week at 90 years old. I had to wear my Shat Happens shirt. I've actually met Mr. Shatner at a Comic-Con in Austin. I've got a picture of it somewhere I can go find. But yeah, good guy, great storyteller, and I'm so glad that he was able to get up there and actually experience space after being part of a series that inspired pretty much everything in terms of space travel. Stories that are still going on. Yeah, I get it. Discovery is its own thing. I'll leave the fans of that to itself. But I stopped at Enterprise. But yeah, if I can't get the Empire, I'm gonna go with the Federation, and I've seen the thumbnail for next week, and it says that there's gonna be like Empire in it, but I don't know if I'm gonna have 2 of my characters at the same time. So, to the showrunners, if there's anything you can do to reconfigure the edit for episode 6, give me Lee Pace, or give me Brother Day, Dawn, and Dusk in some combination. You killed my bit 1 week into it. That's all I can say. I know. But getting back into the story, I don't mind that they've actually left out a branch over much, because it gives space and time for each of these stories to be broken down a little bit. Now, when it comes to Terminus, that's fine. But when it came to this week's episode with Gail, who was pretty much doing a solo act, I'll give you the 1 bottle episode, but for just me, for my opinion, I can't do a single character as a storyline I'm following for very much longer. Please let her get to where she's going and interact with someone else. I'm just a big fan of dialogue, because dialogue can lead to drama, joy, happiness, and all of that, instead of just watching somebody react to things that aren't even in the room. That's just my personal pet peeve. I mean, it was well acted. The flashbacks going back to her home planet and her religious organization, that was fine by me. But again, I can only put up with so many bottle episodes of a person, basically doing a monologue. I get it, she's trying to battle the computer, but skip ahead a bit if you don't mind. It's not filler, because I see where they're trying to set her up for, but if you've not read the books, I can see where you think this is truly a filler episode, like nothing happened, nothing transpired here. But if you've read any of these books that are going by in the little slideshow here, or you have a good idea as to what's about to happen. So I hope they do that well. I mean, yeah, never mind. That's a whole other discussion. That's for a whole other set of videos going forward with that. But again, Gail's part was well done. It was well acted. I don't have a problem with it technically. There wasn't a lot of CGI or anything else. She's just sitting there doing her, swiping to the left and to the right, pausing the video, enhancing all of that stuff that we've seen in who knows how many other shows. And that part was fine. Again, all the stuff on Terminus. Whew, I feel sorry for the warden, because that lady cannot be in every place she needs to be all at once. And the fact that the Empire did arrive and was in communication with the Foundation and was not told about the stealth anti-air defense, that's just, to my military mind, that says you guys messed up the sit rep. Period. Okay, you had the information, you scouted it out, you confirmed that the enemy was doing something, and you did not share it with higher headquarters. Literally higher headquarters. That information would have been good to know, because the Empire could have landed on the other side of the planet and just trucked it over there. They could have landed way out of that thing's range and just, went low under the radar. They would have had options, but you had to let them know that that was a threat. Now, the Grand Huntress had one of the jokerist plans out there of like, I'm going to let you capture me and only me, and then I'm going to let you take me to the place where all your shields are, and then I'm going to explode. I'm going to believe that you're going to let me agonize in pain without, stopping me or preventing me from messing with my eye, which just so happens to be a bomb. Yeah, again, it was well done. It's plausible, but now you're asking for a lot in terms of what the enemy's going to do in response to your plan, when I know that no plan survives first contact with the enemy. So, I mean, if the warden was dumber and just shot her as soon as she, knocked her out, her plan goes to crap, and all of her people are standing outside with nothing else to do. I don't know how else that plan's gonna work then. But again, it was all well done. Again, the warden, that poor lady, they need cloning technology for her quick, fast, and in a hurry, because she needs to be in multiple places all at once. That, or they need better comms so they can't get shut down like they did get shut down. Again, I'm just a little bit disappointed that there was no Empire scene, but that's just my, for the sake of my bit. This show continues to do a good job for me in terms of telling this story, breaking down this universe. In turn, even at the end, we start seeing the little hologram of Harry Seldon. I'm guessing that's setting up. Again, I don't want to get into spoilers, but if you've read the books, you kind of know where that's all going. So you can see how, he's doing some pre-planning all of a sudden. Plus, anytime we can get one of the Harris family on the screen is a good time for me. I missed him so much when he left The Expanse to come do this, and it's like, oh wait, there you go. There you go, Mr. Harris. Thank you for coming back to my screen. So if there's more scenes with him, I'm down for it. I'm here to see it. As long as it's not just Gail by herself for too much longer. I don't know. Again, that's just my personal preference. I don't like when it's just a single character for over long. I mean, you can do a montage if you want to, but episode after episode of them being alone, no, can't do that. Not here for that. Particularly since, last season in The Expanse, we had like the Naomi episodes where she was by herself, and she was doing a lot more than simply asking, using a voice assistant to ask questions. I get it. I'd like to see where you're setting it up, but let's move ahead a bit if we can. All right, that's pretty much all I had for this episode. Again, for me, it wasn't filler, but I could see where people might get that impression. I really am interested to see where the rest of this Terminus storyline goes along, because this should be one of those major crises for the foundation that they're just going to have to figure out how to do. And this is but the first of many. So I'm really interested in seeing that. And of course, for next Friday, please bring me the Empire. Please, just whoever it is, day, dusk, dawn, darkness, whoever, eclipse, whatever other names you've got for these emperors, please just bring it so I can bring back the Empire clip of the week or Empire scene of the week. But outside of that, thank you all for watching. If you don't mind, go ahead and leave a like down below. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you wouldn't mind. You can reach me at any of these. I'm at Mr. TopeTO on Twitch, on Patreon, on YouTube, everything you can find me on. I'm pretty much Mr. TopeTO. Go ahead and sign up for any of those things that you want. Patreon supports us, helps us get, keep the show going, keep the lights going. Twitch, you'll find me. I do gaming. I'm trying to get my son to get his streams going as well, but I do mobile games, PS4 or PS5. Well, 4 until I can get the 5. PC. I've actually started my Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus playthrough. I need to actually upload a video on that. But you can find all of those links down in the descriptions below. Again, thank you all for joining me, and see you all next week. Forward the foundation.